Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So I got Billy's duster out of the way. Next time you see it, it'll be in a video taking it home. I'm back onto my own projects, and I've got a couple that I want to get done this year. You know how that goes. But today we have this. This is my 1983 Chevy Chevette diesel. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, they made, I don't know, like 3 million of these cars, and I believe it was something like 26,000 of them came in a diesel. This one I picked up from a friend of mine, actually the same place I got the Rambler. It was like an just out of nowhere deal. He asked me, "Hey, do you want a Chevette?" And I told him, "No, not really, but you know, why?" And he's like, he was wanting to trade for an intercooler that I had, and he talked me into it. He finally talked me into it when he told me it was a diesel 5-speed. And that's my friend Tyler. Go check him out. His YouTube handle is Petrol Jethro. I'll get it right in a second. But this little car, these get like 60 some miles a gallon. Like this one's not in the greatest shape. You can kind of see. I actually rebuilt the top end of the motor on this. Open this up and show you. So I rebuilt the top end on this. This is an Isuzu 4FB1, 1.8 liter indirect injected diesel. I had to rebuild the cylinder head. The big thing about these is always change the timing belt. If you buy a Chevette diesel, the first thing you need to do is change that, and then keep a spare on hand because you're going to change it when the next oil change comes. These little diesels produce, I think, 60 horsepower and maybe 120 foot-pounds of torque. It ain't nothing, but the car don't weigh nothing either. But the fuel pump is out of this, so that's part of what I got to cover here. And then I want to take care of body work because there's a car show in, I think, June here locally that I want to take it to just because I can. These old Chevettes are kind of rare, and I want to... It's always a conversation piece when people find out I have it, but I got to fix stuff like the door right here and then straighten the fenders out where somebody rolled them. I've been told they'll fit a pretty wide tire, though. Just odds and ends stuff, and these drip rails, I got to get these still. Fix the door handle. You know, typical old car stuff. So, I'm going to get this thing in the air, get the tank dropped, and we'll see what it takes to get it going again. Alright, now that it's up on wheel cribs, let's crawl under it and take a peek at what we got going on here. So if you know anything about Chevettes, you know they've got like a 6.5-inch 10 bolt, but the front snout on it acts like a torque arm, like what you'd find in like a Firebird or Camaro. Really kind of a neat design. I've never seen it anywhere else but in a Chevette. So overall, this is actually the first time I've ever been under this car. So floor pans have a little rust. I'll fix those later. They're not horrible. Let's see. Let's turn it around. Let's flip the camera over here. So right here's one of our big problems. That is a brake line held together with a rubber hose. That is not safe. That will be replaced. Overall, though, the fuel line is the big issue, which that might actually... Oh, no, that's a fuel line held together with a rubber hose. That might be where I'm having part of my problems with fuel. Yep, that's diesel fuel. That goes right up there into the tank. So I've got to drop this, change the fuel pump. I'm probably going to rerun the exhaust because I'm not a big fan of this side exit. Factory exhaust, and I think this is why they did the torque arm. Factory exhaust comes right through here, right like this. Through here. I think up and over and out. But I might be wrong on that. Oh, front snout on the bushings on the... That's probably going to need rebuilt. That's going to be fun to find parts for. Transmission in this is a T5 like you'd find in a Mustang. So there's actually a pretty good wealth of aftermarket parts. It's just, it's got this weird bell housing. So yeah, I won't be able to swap this with a Mustang. Overall, though, underneath the car don't look horrible. Got a hook speedometer back up. That ain't nothing major. I'll probably change the fluid in this, use Ford Synchro Shift. Sorry for the motion sickness y'all are getting. Overall, the underneath of the car don't look horrible. Diesel oil pan, they kind of weird. I've heard that I can actually use G-body shocks on this thing, or not shocks, coilovers, but looking at that setup, I've probably heard wrong. So I'm probably going to take parking brake cable ain't hooked up. So first things first, we're going to address the fuel system. That's got to be fixed. And then that's got to come down. I shouldn't have put 5 gallons of diesel in that before it was running, but, you know, mistakes happen. That was back before I knew the head was messed up, though, so you really can't blame me there. All right, let's move. I'm going to show you real quick what I got in mind for body and paint, and then I'll get started on this. Okay, body and paint's pretty straightforward. There's a body line right here. GM Arctic White from here down. And then I have a real pretty turquoise picked out from here up. The hood kind of, gave me that. And this is all paint. There's no rust on this hood. This is actually multiple layers of spray paint and then sanded down. Fake patina, if you will. Tyler was real big into rat rods when he acquired this. And then, the usual stuff. Window seals, got that window. I think I already covered all that. All right, I'm going to get this tank dropped and fuel pump in it and see what happens.
Several days later.
So yeah, that kind of escalated quickly. Deal is if I paint this, like the exterior, and get it running and all that, I probably won't do this for a long while. I want to, I want to clean it up. I kind of want to show this car some, cruise-ins, maybe the occasional actual car show, stuff like that. So I'm going to, strip all this out, paint the inner fenders and strut tires, all that white, clean that up, clean all that up, just make it nicer than it is. As far as the engine, I'm painting it, I believe this is Pontiac blue, which is pretty close to the original color you can see there. That kind of influenced my decision on what to paint the car. Like I said, if I don't do this now, I'm not going to do it, because this motor is a grease ball, and I don't like pulling running stuff apart, as backwards as that sounds coming from me. Check this out. That's not mine. I just found an extension. That's kind of cool. But yeah, just clean all this up, like make it presentable. So I'm going to get back to stripping the engine bay. The paint has arrived finally. So next week or two, this is probably going to get painted. I still got to strip the door panels, still got to fix some body work. But it's coming along, and I'm excited. With the door panels off, you can really see how faded and discolored they are. Like I said, I'm going to do a tech tip corner on those. I also figured out that I've got to basically rebuild the window regulator because it all fell apart. I think we're going to call it good on the video here. The next one, I'm going to do the body work and everything on this. I will take this out and pressure wash it before body work happens, and again after. But like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Till next time.